What everyone gets wrong about INTPs. Number 1. They are scatterbrained. I've often heard INTPs describe their own minds as places of chaos. This is true. However, only partially. Their mind is partitioned, with different areas cordoned off and dedicated to particular lines of inquiry. These compartmentalized regions would be, like departments in some shadowy institution, forever closed off to each other, were it not for the mildly unhinged go-between, also known as extroverted intuition. Like an overly initiating and immensely flirtatious individual at a party, it travels around, squeezing the juice out of otherwise rigid people, combining ideas they hear from them, and fashioning entirely new thoughts from the information they've gained. When INTPs are in any mode, yes, scatterbrained indeed. However, that is only sometimes. The rest of the time, they are organizing thoughts. This doesn't have to be an intentional process, or a conscious one even, but it happens often in their mind. I would go as far as to say that INTPs are the most internally organized type when it comes to their mental structures and frameworks. Very few types have the cognitive capacity of the INTP when it comes to accessing their precise reasoning and linear logic on a topic. Verbalizing that might not always be easy, but knowing it, they can do. So, INTPs are intellectually explorative and adventurous, but not scatterbrained. Number 2. They don't make great leaders. It's not that many people say this one, but if you were to think of the INTPs in your life, then imagine them in the archetypical leader roles. It might not feel like a natural fit for them. This is something that they themselves might also think. I think this comes from them having extroverted sensing as their blind spot function. Leadership comes with expectations, obligations, pressure. You are forced to move and act, which is something that INTPs very much dislike. An SE-DOM, so an ESTP or ESFP, would love those roles, by contrast. However, when you get to a role of leadership, you realize that taking action yourself is, well, not that needed. In fact, it can be a drawback. A leader should see the entire chessboard, not be at the level of the pieces on it. They should be focusing on high-level problem solving. Then, crucially, delegating the execution and implementation to other people. Based on these requirements, the INTP temperament is well suited to leadership in my view. It might be the case that they dislike such roles, but it's not the case that they'd be bad at them. They gravitate towards the role of advisor to dodge these parts of leadership that they dislike. But in many ways, a leader is an advisor. Number 3. They lack long-term ambitions. This one comes down to what the INTPs value. A long-term plan might be a precise one in which there are concrete steps. But when you break down the psychology of a long-term plan, it's about a few things: security, purpose, and desire. INTPs find security by refining and honing how they think. If they can think in a powerful and effective way, the life they want will emerge organically from that. So, they invest in their logical framework and cognitive systems. That, in a sense, is a long-term approach to life. Arguably, it's a far wiser investment than simply setting goals and settling on plans. After all, what could be a better long-term ambition than armoring your mind with defenses against faulty logic and providing it powerful tools to get to the truth? If you're an INTP, then invest in your mind long-term by subscribing.